Drive sober or get pulled over. It's a campaign most, if not all of us, are familiar with. If you get behind the wheel after having several drinks, well, law enforcement's definitely going to be out there looking for you.
You got that right, but in some areas of Little Rock, people may be less likely to get caught. This is based on where officers are able to patrol. For example, this map basically shows you all the DWIs from 2010 to 2015, and if you look in this direction, you don't see as many arrests. These little things, they represent arrests. You don't see as many over in West Little Rock.
Yeah, that's a startling contrast there.
Fox16
Investigates after a tipster suggested Marcy Manley take a look at how the Little Rock Police Department's DWI numbers stacked up and where tickets were being written and where they weren't.
Right.
Sunday, August the 25th is the day I don't remember.
When a drunk driver slammed into Rochelle Cole on her way home from work,
There's nothing there. It's like a blank day.
she was left with a broken kneecap, collapsed lungs, and brain swelling that left her in a coma for 5 days and forced her to learn to walk, talk, and feed herself all over again at 21 years old.
Ambulance and the police stating that me and the driver passed away on impact, so he went a whole week thinking that I was gone.
That's got to be a little bit traumatic to think you were so close that EMTs mistook you for dead.
At first I was just shocked that, that happened, but now I'm just grateful and glad to be alive.
Rochelle wasn't driving at 1 a.m. She wasn't in a spot where many of Little Rock's DWI citations are written. She was near the intersection of Shackelford and Chenal at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night.
Mine, Rick, was in West Little Rock. You don't really see that many cops out there.
10-4, thank you, ma'am.
The Little Rock DWI task force comprised of just 3 officers.
I try to handle most of the calls in Southwest.
Responsible for a city of 200,000 people.
The other guy that was there tonight handles downtown area.
Hi, Officer Watkins, Little Rock Police Department.
Looking at the numbers compared to other metropolitan areas, some might say Little Rock's DWI citations seem low.
You're talking about one officer for 67,000 people.
From 2010 to 2014, Little Rock police reported 1,740 citations for DWI, while Abilene, Texas, a city with 70,000 fewer folks, cited more than 2,100. Shreveport, Louisiana, with a population comparable to the capital city, cited nearly 5,000 drunk drivers, though all of them reported declines during the time period.
The fact that patrol is short, I think that factors into it. And also, our entertainment district is a lot smaller than Shreveport's.
According to Sergeant Roger Snook, the lower numbers in Little Rock may indicate success instead of slacking.
Our citations amongst the squad have actually gone up, and we're still not raising our DWIs, which tells me that we're doing our job and we're keeping them at home when they drink.
But obstacles to finding intoxicated operators are real, with manpower being the front seat driver on enforcement.
Everybody knows right now we're several dozens short in patrol, so it's a lot of hopping call to call to call. In fact, here recently, we found ourselves taking calls.
So we mapped out where most drunk drivers are being cited based on court records. We plotted every arrest citation that included a complete address. And we found corridors like Colonel Glenn, University, and Cantrell, all dotted with DWIs.
Our thoroughfares, either where there are clubs or the avenues that they leave from the clubs to go home, so that's probably pretty accurate.
But certain areas of the city barely had a balloon on the map. The River Market, Little Rock's well-known entertainment district, less than a dozen DWIs cited between 2010 and 2015, according to the data available. And multiple sources have told us that since River Market's inception, there's been a standing, if not official, order from city higher-ups that DWI citations are to be avoided in the River Market, due to fears that DWI arrests would keep people from spending their money downtown.
No, never heard anything like that. In fact, we can go in the River Market all we want, but that's very well covered down there.
According to Snook, foot patrols are tasked with trying to keep River Market drinkers from ever making it to motorist status.
But if we find somebody down there that's getting in their car that's obviously intoxicated, it's cutting in.
But if they do slip by,
how many of you have seen someone completely intoxicated walking to their car and driving out of River Market?
Officers intend to catch them in the feeder corridors they patrol.
It's just trying to catch them as quick as you can from wherever they are.
Pamela Sell with Mothers Against Drunk Driving took a look at the data we collected.
What those numbers show is that our roads and our streets in our city are not as safe as they can be.
Little Rock Police had its first sobriety checkpoint in years around the holiday season.
We would support more of those measures taken across the city. The River Market would be a perfect place for that to occur.
And those who frequent the River Market say there's at least a perception a DWI is a possibility after a night of partying, despite just a dozen being written since 2010.
There should and would be a lot more, but at the same time, sometimes just that scare of possibly getting one can be something of an influence, if not enough.
Is he sorry?
Rochelle can't say she has all the answers.
Took me 2.5 years, almost 3, to get back where I was, and still not there yet.
She only knows this should never be one of them.
Wow.
That's an image hard to look at, but boy, she looks great now.
Thank goodness. But I mean, so many people, they don't survive it, you know? I mean,
Or they do, and it's the innocent victim who doesn't.
True.
Yeah. Well, Little Rock Police plan to conduct another sobriety checkpoint in the spring.
And it's also partnering with other Central Arkansas departments to curb drunk driving between cities in the metro area.
And don't forget, you can call or email Marcy Manley if you have a story that you would like her to investigate. The phone number and email address, as you can see right there on your screen. And if you'd like, you can remain anonymous.